Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Liz's Letters. In today's video, we're going to be creating this colorful triangle border for your hand lettering and calligraphy. I'm going to be using these Tombow ABT Pro alcohol-based markers on Strathmore marker paper. But this colorful design could just as easily be made with water-based markers or colored pencils, so feel free to use whatever medium feels most comfortable to you. We'll start off by sketching the triangle design, and trust me, you'll probably want to do this in pencil first. The paper that I'm using is rectangular, not square, so there aren't going to be an even number of triangles on each side. I found that I was able to fit 3 triangles along the longer sides and 2 triangles along the shorter sides. Then I filled the empty spaces with triangles oriented in the opposite direction. I tried to make sure that my triangles were somewhat evenly spaced and evenly sized. If you're even more of a perfectionist than me, you can feel free to use a ruler or Pythagorean's theorem to figure out the size of the triangles, but I didn't feel like doing that. I even ended up adding a couple extra triangles on my bigger size because, hey, it doesn't have to be perfect. So now onto the fun part, adding color. I chose to make some of my triangles teal colored, but you can choose to use whatever colors you want. The marker that I'm using right now is 373, which is a mid-tone teal color. With alcohol markers like these, it doesn't really matter whether you start shading with the mid, dark, or light tone. Just make sure you're covering the area that you're coloring with an even layer of ink. The pattern that I'm going to be using is creating a gradient from darkest towards the inside of the paper to lightest towards the outside of the paper. I've picked up my marker 401, which is a pastel greenish blue, and I'm laying down an even coat in the area of the triangle that I want to be the lightest. So now, how do we get these 2 shades to blend into one another? Well, I'm no expert on using alcohol-based markers. This is my very first set, but I did pick up a few tricks along the way, watching some YouTube videos and a Skillshare class about alcohol-based markers. And I've learned that these markers can blend really easily if you layer them one on top of the other by using small circular motions. After going over the area where the 2 shades meet with marker 373, I go back over that same area with marker 401. Normally I speed up my videos to approximately the speed of light, but I thought that it would be satisfying for you guys to watch this blending unfold in real time. Isn't it mesmerizing? And oh, these 2 colors are just so beautiful together. So now onto the darkest part of the triangle, where I'll be using marker 379. I colored in the rest of the triangle using this marker, and to be honest, if I wanted to make an even more dramatic difference in the color value, I could have added a little bit of black at the very tip, but I decided not to. So now I'm going back over the area where the darkest value and the mid-tone meet, making little circles using marker 373. So this is the mid-tone color. After that, I'll go over the same area with the darkest color, and then finally make my last layer with marker 373 to blend everything out exactly how I want it. So there it is. Now you have my secrets to blending with these alcohol markers. And this is the same process that I used for all of the triangles in this design. You can see I kept the pattern of lightest on the outside of the paper and darkest towards the inside of the paper. I designed the sequence of the colors of the triangles, so teal, pink, green, and then after that comes purple and then orange, such that adjacent triangles have colors that are far apart from one another on the color wheel, which creates a lot of contrast. But in your triangle border, you can feel free to use whatever pattern of colors you want. I mean, why not just go crazy and make every single triangle a totally different color? Or they can all be the same color. That's the beauty of art. Everyone can take the same design and make it their own. Remember also that you don't have to use alcohol markers to make this design. You can use whatever medium you choose. But keep in mind that the technique that you use to blend alcohol markers is very different than the technique you would use to blend water-based markers or colored pencils or acrylic paints, for example. I think it would be really cool to make a triangle border like this using a watercolor wash for each triangle. You could do it where they're a flat wash, so they're the same color throughout, or you could do a gradient like I've done in this piece. I hope this video helps get your creative juices flowing. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video.